How's it going, everyone? Today I'm going to show you how to make clear taillights in BeamNG. Shouts out to Dark for showing me how to do this. I'm going to put his Patreon and TikTok in the description. But the steps are essentially the same for every car, except for some cars they actually have a texture on top of the glass. I believe the ETKI does that. I'm not 200% sure, but in the case of a car where you have taillight glass over the actual texture, the steps should be relatively the same. But yeah, with that disclaimer and intro out of the way, we're going to hop straight into it. So in order to do this, you're going to need Blender. I recommend that you get paint.net, and I also recommend that you get Notepad++. Once you've downloaded all of that, you're going to want to open up your local BeamNG folder and your Steam BeamNG folder. But essentially, you're going to go into your current version, mods, unpacked, and then you have this unpacked folder. I'm going to do Control-Shift-N and name this Bastion Clear. I'm going to make another folder called Vehicles, and then in here I'm going to make one more and name that Bastion. And then in the Steam folder, I'm going to open up the Bastion, Vehicles, Bastion. And there's a few things that I need from here that I'm going to put inside of my unpacked folder. So you're going to want the Bastion DAE, main materials. In this case, I want the lights B. This is the base map, so I'm going to paste that alongside the lights damage B, trunk, and then taillights. And so this should pretty much be all that we need. Now, before we go into anything else, I want to go and put underscore clear at the end of all of these. So make sure that it's before the dot color, just like that. And I'll also put this, so there we go. Now, you have to do this right away because earlier I was trying to do this tutorial and I had overwritten the textures basically, so make sure that you change that for sure before you do any changes to these textures. Speaking of that though, I'm going to go ahead and open both of these up, do Control-Shift-U to bring up the hue and saturation, and then bring the saturation all the way down. Go ahead and save that, press OK, and then you're going to do the same thing, save it, press OK, and now we're done with the texture work. So I'm actually going to make a copy of this main materials, and I'm going to open up both of these. This copy, I'm just going to take everything out and essentially post whatever I need into this main materials file. Now go ahead and just leave this open for now because we need to go into Blender, delete these, go over to import and DAE, and then locate the Bastion DAE that you put in your unpacked mod folder. There we go. So you're just going to delete everything besides the taillights. And then just like that, I have the taillight glass, taillight L, R, and center. And I'll kind of explain what's going on here. If I go ahead and click on Bastion taillight L, press on the circle, you can see that I have all of these different kind of textures. If you press tab, and then I'll press on taillight, it's going to select this part right here. So press select, and you can see it's got this area selected. We need to change all of these to clear, but make copies so that we don't overwrite this. We'll start off with the center. Go ahead and just press tab again. So under center, I'm going to go and press this right here to make a copy. Get rid of this .001 and put underscore clear. And you're going to do the same thing with all of these. Okay, so now that we got that done, we can move over to the left taillight. Now before you do anything else, we can recycle what we just made, so I know that I have Bastion lights clear. Taillight L clear, perfect. Marker, I have not made one, so I can go ahead and do that really quick. And in this case, we don't need to change the reverse lights because they are already clear by default, and then we just have to do the same thing with this one. And then last but not least, just put underscore clear at the end of all of these. Now you don't really have to worry about the taillight glass or anything like that. Okay, so hopefully this doesn't confuse anybody, but I'm actually recording this after I made this video. And so I didn't realize until after making the video that the Bastion actually has clear lights in this center alongside this one right here. And so you're not going to change taillight R at all, or taillight L. Same with this center. You can see I have taillight R and taillight L. Change those if you've already changed it to clear back to just normal, because you can see in game that this entire bar is now working. If you changed it to clear, you would just see like these orbs basically not emitting through the light. So that's just, I'm gonna put this in here and try to like make it not so confusing. So once you're finished, export, and then export this to your mod folder. I'm gonna name this clear tails, Now back over to the material files, go ahead and pretty much search all of these. So we're going to need to make a Bastion Lights clear. Let's go over to lights. There we go. I'm also going to copy over damage. So I've pretty much copied over all of these, and now you just have to place underscore clear over all of these. You're also going to place it under Bastion underscore lights underscore B. Go ahead and place clear. And then we're going to do the same exact thing with the damage one. So put clear, and then over here you can see that we have a Bastion Lights damage B. These are the textures that we made earlier, the black and white ones. Okay, and then lastly, we're basically just going to copy over everything from version 1.5 or whatever it says for you up to class. Go ahead and just copy that, and we're going to paste it on everything besides the damage one. So in the case of taillight L clear, you're just going to go above this bracket and the comma and replace like that. Then do the same thing up to class, boom, same thing here, class. Okay, and then lastly we just need to format it properly. So at the beginning we just have this bracket, go ahead and press enter, paste that in. And then on the bottom we have these, go ahead and just copy that. And then go ahead and just paste it over like so. So I think that should be good. I'm going to delete the main materials file and then rename the one that I had just edited. Clear materials. Delete the Bastion.dae. Lastly, we need to edit these JBeam files. So go ahead and open up both of these. We have taillight R. Go ahead and do the same thing. Underscore clear. And I'm also going to paste that right here where you see it said Bastion taillight R. Okay, and then I'll just put clear. Do the same thing with the left taillight, underscore clear. Done with that. And then over at the trunk, the same exact thing, clear, center taillight, clear. And then over here we have Bastion Lights damage. We can go ahead and put clear because we added that in with the materials. So you can go ahead and do the same thing over here with both of these taillights. Just like that, I'm going to open up the game, see if everything loaded properly. Now for the big moment of truth, I'm going to place my clear taillights on. Looking good over here. And now I'm going to press on my brakes and you can see I've got like this full red bar, and it works with signals, hazards, all of that stuff. And I can even go in reverse. You can see the reverse light works as well. Yeah, so pretty straightforward. Again, I want to give huge shouts out to Dark for showing me how to do this. I actually messed around with it on my own for a little bit and problem solved this by myself, which is cool. So it's kind of like the whole thing with modding is you mess around and figure stuff out. You run into problems, you can figure it out. If you enjoyed this, subscribe to the channel. Greatly appreciate it. And join the Discord. I'll catch you all later.